New Jersey and Rutgers football don't exactly come to mind when you think about launching a great bourbon. Unless you're Eric LeGrand and Brian Axelrod, the co-founders of Eric LeGrand Kentucky Straight Bourbon. Understanding the esteem Kentucky has in the world of bourbon, Eric and Brian wanted to bring that significant value to their New Jersey-based brand. They were guided to Brindiamo to make that connection.
So Brindiamo Group is one of the leading suppliers of bulk bourbon and whiskey in the world. We utilize our extensive network to help our brand partners in almost every state of the United States. I met Brian from LeGrand Spirits through Bardstown Bourbon, through Susie Garvin. She connected us and we immediately hit it off. It was really interesting from the get-go to hear his story.
Following a devastating football injury in 2010 that left him paralyzed, Eric was determined to live his best life and pursue his passions in business. So he asked his friend Brian, a successful spirits entrepreneur, to team up and launch a bourbon brand.
And when I was laid in that hospital bed after my injury, I made a promise to myself that I would not let this injury overcome me, that I was going to live my life to the fullest as long as God had me down here on this earth.
I always wanted to work with him. I was inspired by his story. Obviously, I'm from New Jersey, so I knew about the injury, was watching the game at home. But then when I reached out to him and just to say, hey, listen, your story is the ultimate prove people wrong story. They were told you that, that you weren't going to be able to do something, and you did it. So that's what kind of like drew me to Eric and his story, but then a friendship evolved.
When Eric proposed collaborating on a bourbon project, Brian considered it overnight before jumping on board enthusiastically and taking the role of educating Eric about the challenges they would face.
Well, I've learned with whiskey, obviously it takes patience and time, and having to be able to find the right product, it was not going to be easy to begin with.
You don't have to be from Kentucky when you're coming out with a bourbon, but it helps. I mean, not everyone can put on their bottle Kentucky straight bourbon. That carries a lot of weight. Sure, I can sell them on the story, and Eric's story is going to move everybody, but eventually you got to pour that liquid into a glass and you got to try it, and we got to be proud of what's in that bottle. I went to Bardstown first, and they said, listen, I think for what you guys are looking to do, this company can help. So that led me to finding who's the best in the business, and that would be Brindiamo.
He's very clearly a brand builder. He's been involved in exits of very successful brands. And the fact that he was taking on this responsibility of building a brand in partnership with his friend and really in celebration of his friend was really inspiring.
It's great to have LeGrand Whiskey as a client. We're excited. It's great to be participating with them and helping them bring their brand forward.
An essential part of LeGrand Whiskey's mission is giving back. LeGrand donates $5.20 for every case of bourbon sold to support the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation, a nod to Eric's jersey number 52 at Rutgers.
And that, gives us a reason and a purpose in our mission, because yes, you see me, I'm the one that's advocating for people with disabilities to be able to enjoy the finer things in life and not to be judged because we're in a wheelchair and people look at us differently. But there's 5.6 million Americans are also dealing with the same sort of issues like myself. So being able to have them involved as well is huge, and being able to donate back to the cause, which is to find a cure for paralysis one day. I mean, if we could do that with the business and be able to hopefully one day write them the biggest check, and there was a job well done, and that's our mission.
Eric LeGrand Kentucky Straight Bourbon has had a remarkable launch in New Jersey, and there are big plans for expansion in the near future.
Taking over our state of New Jersey is exactly what we want. But I can't wait till we have other people on the ground that are coming to us, and we're having meetings with them. We're teaching them about our story and our mission, and then they're going out there and hitting the ground running and selling bottles, across to New York and then Massachusetts, down the road, and many other states.
Brian and I have developed a relationship that has gone beyond sourcing and now focuses on what's next for the brand. How do they grow? How do they reach new heights?
And now we feel it's time where we can now maybe cross the river, say hello to New York, and expand a little bit. But we want to be smart about it. We want this brand to be around long, after Eric and I are gone. Hopefully not, hopefully that's a long time away. But yeah, we're in this for the long haul.